Lots of groovy things prepared for today. Um, what do you say we just get up and start doing them? That sound good? Well, come on with me now and let's hurry up and relax. Ah, now one foot steps out if you don't mind and open the door. Hmm. Breathe in, and then here's that easing on down. Ah, drifting, embracing, and catching the moon. Still breathing, still rising and falling, inhaling and outhailing, exhaling. This is the exhale. Ah, this is the inhale. All right, now stay with me as I step out to the side and toss that moon away, parting the horse's mane. One more time. Now, watch me here as we sit on back and then just float across the room, back over here onto this side and catch the ball. Um, One more time. And watch me here as we sit on back and step on out. Keep on going. You know what to do. I get closer to the camera and it gets scared. One more time. All right, now stay with me here one by one. Sit on back and one time parting the horse's mane. Sit on back. One time parting the horse's mane. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And then just because I'm running out of room, breathe in right back to center with a big hug. Mm. Sinking the chi. Beautiful. Stay with me. I'm just going to take a couple of steps forward here again. Once again, sinking the chi. Mm. The hands float up in front with a big hug. Inhale and open. And this hand drops all the way until it runs into the other fingertips. And big hug. Inhale. This hand drops all the way until it runs into the fingertips. Flows up the hug. When it runs into the fingertips, they stick like glue over and over and over, and then open up the heart. Right? Just framing my body on both sides here. Big hug and close it up. Inhale and open all the way down until it runs into the fingertips and then stick like glue. crane spreading its wing. Nice. Now stay with me. Inhale and open and take one step back. Close it up. Take one step back. And close it up. Stay there. Stay there. Right. Take one step back. And close it on up. I think I need to change that camera around, don't I? 1 second here. And inhale it open, take one step back. Close it on up. Last time. And then nice big hug in front there. Inhale and open. And sink the chi. Beautiful. Should be ready now for the two movements we're going to work on today, which are parting the horse's mane and the crane spreads wings. Yes. So first things first, why don't we take a look at where we left off on last Tuesday, rather, with as far as we got with parting the horse's mane after opening the door. Right. So just can't get far enough away from that camera. This is our high chi position, right? Just beginning here. And the left foot unweights and steps out to the left, just a hip width. Centers. Both hands float up. And then with the elbows heavy and leading, everything floats down a little bit. Okay. I open up and catch the moon. Weight comes back entirely onto the right foot, and then step out, part the horse's mane. Now that's about as far as we got last Tuesday. Today, what we're going to do is continue the step. I know I showed you the rest of the step, but that's about as far as we got for practice. Let's do that one more time. Start with sinking the chi, because you can never have too many chis. Left foot steps to the left. Center. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's take a quick pause. Okay. This camera is being a poop head. So let's go all the way back to here. There we go. We'll do it this way. All right. Whew. Questions about the first move so far? Everything seems perfectly clear. Nice. All right. So the 24 form is choreographed so that the first, after opening the door, the first movement, parting the horse's mane, is done 3 times in a row. And it's done so in the same cadence as our walking like a cat step. In fact, we would say this is still walking like a cat, only the cat is creeping forward. So rather than finishing one step, sitting back and turning inward, we're going to sit back and turn outward. Right? And the amount of turn outward that we're doing is 45 degrees. So this right toe is going to pivot, right foot's going to pivot on the heel and turn until the toe is pointing out 45 degrees. Then we step up onto that foot and take another step. Right? Watch me one time and then we'll do it together. This is pretty simple. Right? So after opening the door, three steps. All right. Let's do it together. So let's take it from the end of opening the door. For a moment, the weight shifts to the left foot as you turn that right toe inward. Then you shift back to the right foot, catch the moon, and step out, parting the horse's mane one time. Sit back, pivot 45 degrees. The weight comes forward, step up, part horse's mane, number 2. Sit back, pivoting on the heel, the foot turns out 45 degrees, step up, parting horse's mane, number 3. One more time. Con respirato. I have no idea if that's actually a word. I just made it up there. So from the end of opening the door, right? This is an exhale as we get into this. So this is breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
So again, from looking at what we see from you, okay, I'm just going to interpret this. We're facing forward, we're stepping, I'm going to call it a corner. We're stepping to the back corner, essentially. Shifting, stepping to the front corner, shifting, and stepping back to the back corner. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Now,
Okay.
the one thing to beware of is when stepping to the corner, stepping the back corner, stepping the front corner, is to adjust the toe so that it's not pointing to the corner, but rather it's pointing straight forward. So the toes will always wind up pointing straight forward, even when you're stepping to this corner, this corner, this corner.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is a very common mistake that people make in the very beginning. Like, I'm going to step to the corner, but I wind up, like going forward because that's where my toes are pointed. So this will become the back foot. The back foot points at 45 degrees, but the front foot has to go back into the straight line, even though it's stepping to the corner.
I think that answered my question. I was trying to figure out the leg that's stepping is like the line with a gap, but you're still somewhat straight on.
Right.
Okay.
So each time you step, the roles that the feet are playing change. They go back and forth. So at the end of my first part horse's mane, this is my front foot, but it's going to change in a minute to become the back foot, right? So my back foot wants to be at 45 degrees, but now this one's going to be at my front foot, and the front foot wants to point towards the straight, right?
Thank you.
As this, you can't see, that doesn't help at all. I need to get a teeny tiny camera. Other questions?
So I'm sorry, I can't find my hand, but
Yes, I gotcha.
as we step forward, there's kind of a circular motion with that back foot. It kind of comes in next to the front foot before it goes out and becomes the front foot again. Is that correct?
This is a really interesting question. This is a bit of a stylistic question, as well as when we learned the T-step, I said that the T-step is a convenient place to always catch your balance. So some days I'm feeling more rooted and rock steady than others. On a day when I'm not that quite rock steady, the T-step is always an option, and it is placed right next to the supporting leg. So it seems to come in, right? But if you're feeling you don't need the T-step, it comes past. I guess the shorter answer to your question is yes, it comes because it's passing through neutral before creating its channel. Whether it pauses in a T-step or not is an option.
Great, thank you.
You bet. All right, let me give you a chance to practice a little bit, and then we'll play some more. All right. Let's take a little bit of a look at the waist turn and how much the waist is turning. So in this movement, the parting the wild horse's mane, the waist is turning 45 degrees only during the development. Remember, the development starts when the second foot hits the ground. So here I am at the end of opening the door, boom. So this is the point at which my development begins. And here my waist has only 45 degrees of movement allowed, but it has to finish. So it's at the 45-degree point relative to open the door, which means that you have to hold it at the open the door position, even while you're stepping to the corner, right? So I've done this. I've got to hold it at the open the door position, step somewhat blindly, and then 45 degrees turn while my head turns a little bit more. The second step wants to take me back on the other direction. I only have 45 degrees of motion at the development, and I have to finish. So 45 degrees. I have to adjust back to the 90, take my step, and open. When I step up here, I have to turn my waist to adjust back to the 90 so that I have 45 degrees to go. Scary close to the camera. Sorry, people. Let's do this here. So this is my open the door position here. I have to hold it at 45, or open at 0, hold it at 0. 45. I have to turn it all the way around, wind it up to 180. 45. Does that make sense? All right, give that a try. Oh, Monica, did you have a question?
So this is kind of dumb, but I'm still coming off your tapes that I use, your videos that I watched for a very long time. So I'm actually okay with the moves.
Wait. I have a question. Are,
Oh.
are you still doing the 2018 Tai Chi?
Yeah.
It's 2024.
I know, and I want to learn. I mean, I'm here. No, okay, so what I'm sorry, can you hear me now? Because, yeah, sorry, I'm in we're moving house and I'm in a place where I have very little room and I have to use these headphones. But anyway, so the problem I have is I don't know which direction you're going in, because when you turn your back, I follow you exactly as you are. And I assume that's the right place. And that is kind of, okay, I know it was 2018, but that is how I started that, you know, with my, like this, and then I'd be going like that with my left arm leading, my left foot leading, right? And then when you turn the camera around and you face us, my brain is having a hard time adjusting to whether I'm now supposed to follow you in mirror image or exactly.
Quick question is this, so I can, does this look like my right hand or my left?
Your left.
That looks like my left. Well, there's the problem right there.
So I'm like, every time you turn around, I get really confused because I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. So I'm sorry about that.
All right,
okay.
so now this looks like my
right hand.
Okay, and this looks like my
right hand.
Okay, so that's why your brain hurts right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Josie, isn't that your job?
Okay.
Well, it is, but you weren't facing us that long, but I was just gonna say DDR, if you're facing us, we better do a check because it looked reversed, but you only did you didn't do much that way, but thank you, Monica. Don't apologize. 'Cause my brain-
Okay, I'm relieved. I'm relieved. I thought I
Yes.
was totally out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I
Don't blame
did.
yourself.
But I couldn't do anything. I just, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
My
no,
brain
it's not your
shuts
problem.
down when
But
he
don't
does
blame me
that.
either. Blame Josie. That's my,
No, thank you,
I'm-
Josie, for your support. Yeah.
All right, well, let me give you a minute or two to play with that one more time using the waist turn.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you just tell me now which way I'm supposed to follow you? Am
So
I,
the choreography of this routine, yes, starts moving to the left.
yeah,
And so then you will step out left
yeah,
foot, right foot, left foot.
okay. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and then when you turn around, you switch your camera over.
It's,
Like, can't
it's
you just
still
keep
left
it
foot, right
the
foot, left
same
foot.
way?
Yes.
But I
So
don't understand
this
why
is
you would do that,
left
because
foot,
now I'm following you exactly.
right foot, left foot.
Okay, yeah. And then when you face us, we should go according to the arm that you're using, which is if you're leading with your right arm, we go right. And
Yes,
if you're leading with your left arm, we go left. Okay.
yes. Left
Okay.
arm, same side as that left foot.
So
Yes.
I would do it like, I would be doing it the opposite of the way on the image. That's what I'm used to doing. That's why I was getting confused,
Yes.
because when I used to watch you, and I know I'm not saying I have to do the same Tai Chi, I'm just saying that's how I used to watch you. And I would go the opposite direction, and that's how my brain learned to do it. And now it's like, okay. So anyway, thank you.
This
I-
is a philosophical principle at work here. So remind me and we'll come back to it later. All right. Let me get everybody back together. Any more questions about this first part horse's mane pattern?
No, but I just wanted to respond to something that Monica just said about she didn't know why you face forward. And I think it's so that we can see the specific movements of the hand and the nuances of how it is from the front. Is that right?
Yeah. We've tried to have, picture in picture viewpoints for you so that you can see mostly my rear view with a picture of front hand. It hasn't worked on this medium. Some of the monitors that you guys have are too small and it all gets lost. The ideal view would be that picture in picture so that I wouldn't have to flip the cameras back and forth. But for now, this is best I can muster.
Just excuse me, Josie, I didn't actually ask that. I know why he's facing forward and that we have to see the details and all this. My problem is that which way am I supposed to follow him when he's facing forward versus when he's facing with his back to us? So that was, and you've answered that, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. Dottie, question. Ding.
No, I don't. I was just trying to, never
All
mind.
right. Never mind. Okay.
Sorry.
Groovy. So let's move on then to the next movement in the routine. The next movement after parting the horse's mane 3 times is the crane spreads wings. And we're still in the first section of the routine. So we are continuing to advance in this direction. We haven't turned around yet. In other words, after my third part horse's mane step, I'm going to keep moving forward for crane spreads wings. Okay? And watch me 2 times, and then we'll break it down together. So from the front, I've just finished parting the horse's mane. Crane spreads wings. From my good side, finished parting horse's mane. Brain spreads wings. So let's just do the footwork first. I'm in a bow step. I've got my channel. I've got my front toes pointing down my direction of travel. Got my back foot turned in 45 degrees. And my weight is distributed 60-40. 60 on the front, 40 in the back. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to empty out this back foot by shifting all of my weight downward into this front foot here. I'm also, and this is something that it took me almost 35 years to learn. And that is when you're about ready to step, you actually pick up the heel back here and pivot on the toe so that your knee is pointing forward. And when you step up this way, you're not fighting the knee at an angle. Now, this is not explicit in the choreography of the 24 form. And so it was one of those things like, nobody ever told me. Right? So a bunch of stuff happens here. I score off the hips. I pivot on the toe. I shift all my weight down on this front foot, and the back foot steps up halfway. It cuts your bow step in half. Right? Then the weight shifts back onto that back foot. I know you can't see it perhaps, but I adjust it so that it's back on the 45-degree angle again. And now I'm in an empty step. One more time. I'm in a bow step. I step up, cutting that bow step in half, shift back, and I'm in an empty step. Try that a couple of times, just the footwork. This one is a one-stepper. So while Part Horse's Mane was 3 steps, Brain Spreads Wings is just a 1-step. Yeah, Mike.
Does the front toe drag back?
Oops. Maybe.
As you come back into the empty stance?
Maybe. Hold that thought. I'm going to get, you've got the right question, bro. I want to hold on to that for a second. You're on the right track, though. Very nice. Okay. So a couple of things that are a little thing, tiny little thing, little tiny things to look out for. One of the most common is overstepping the halfway point when you're doing this transition into what I call the empty step change, right? The empty step change. Thanks, Elizabeth. It's good to see you. So when this foot comes up, it's really common to go past that halfway point. A lot of people come all the way up here, almost to their front foot, and then they're trying to figure out their empty step here, right? So this is good practice, you know, to you do this visually over and over and over again. Here's my bow step. Where's the middle? Right. That's the middle point right there. So that's where my toe is going to go. No farther. Just to that middle point. Shift back and make another bow step. Where's it going to go? There's the middle point. That's as far as it can go. Right up to that middle point and then back. That's one of the most common things. And then,
Do you mind to demo one more time?
yeah. In fact, I'll do it a couple of different views. There's my middle. Here's what's very common. People step all the way up. They overstep that midpoint. So I want to find out where is just right at the middle. That's where my toe goes, then shift back.
So it's
Just to the middle.
it's halfway between the width and halfway between front to back. Is that right?
Right. So this part of the step that I'm putting out right now is the front to back part, right? This is what we would call length. From the front toe to back heel, I'm cutting the length in half. Right? Now, the second part, like Josie's pointing out, is the width part. So if this is the width of my bow step, right, I step up onto that midpoint. I also want to cut the width in half, cutting the bow step into the empty step half. And this is Mike's question. So rather than dragging that foot back, you actually pick it up and replace it. And as you practice more and more, it becomes less and less necessary to do. It's almost just like sometimes a token movement, right? Because I've got this back foot placing very, I'm doing it over and over and over again. It's almost like that back foot just does all the work for me, but then I have a little bit of a pick up, put down replacement. All right, now let's talk about the hands. What do the hands do? So the first thing that the hands do is grab hold of the ball, like embrace the moon. So from the end of Parting Horse's mane here, I actually don't have to do anything with the top hand except turn the palm down. It's already pretty much in place. Palm just turns down. And then the back hand kind of comes with the stepping foot here, slides into the bottom of the ball. Right? And there I am. Now the next part is that the weight, after doing my half step up, shifts back to the new back foot. And here the bottom hand rises up to the level of the fingertips and opens. How much does it open? That's
45
right.
degrees.
45 degrees. That's right. 45 degrees. So opens 45 degrees and then centers. So it opens up 45 degrees, turns back 45 degrees, and I wind up centered over both hips. So I'm not at, an angle like I'm at Parted Horse's mane. Crane Spread's Wings is square on. Crane Spread's Wings is square on. So I'm going to step up and grab a hold of the ball. As I shift back, the hands come up and open 45 degrees and then square on. Right. And Mike, the replacement happens during the squaring. So I step up, I touch my toe down. I shift back and open. I square on and do the toe replacement. Actually, sorry about the camera switching. Let's do that one more time, all together from the beginning. And then I'm going to let you practice, and I got a couple more little nuancy things here. Sinking the chi. Left foot steps to the left and open the door. Touching the moon, Parted Horse's mane. Once. Twice. Three times. And here's my empty step change. Crane Spread's Wings. Yeah. All right. Give yourselves a chance to practice and play with that a little bit. Ah, right there, right there. So it looks to me from your point of view is you took the first step just perfectly. You stepped in the corner, made your channel, step back, and then you went 90 degrees. That's the biggest channel. That's like the Panama Canal you just made there. Right? That's too big. So here is here's a tip. Find your opening the door position. Right? There's my open the door position. Turn your head sharply to the left and pick a spot on the wall or on the desk or someplace, right? Now, everything you do should be always stepping towards that point, right? So when I pick my first part horse's main step, I'm going to step right towards that point. I do my thing, which is, now where am I stepping? I got to step towards that point. My third step. Got to still step towards that same point. Part horse's main, still towards that same point.
I still don't get the hands at 45 degrees and then coming back to the center at the end. I couldn't see your hands in from the view it was in before.
So imagine that you're getting underneath something. I mean, it would be somebody else's hand is what you're getting under. But it's like when we finish up the part of horse's mane, this backhand that slips underneath to be the ball, it's actually the hand now that's doing all the work. It's shifted. This was the operative hand. This becomes the operative hand. It's underneath something, and then it's going to lift, carry it over to the side where it's not going to, be in any trouble for us. And then we just turn back and say, ha, 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 ha. Right? From the back view here, see if I can get a good angle. Here's the part horse's mane. I've got this backhand here. It's gonna, in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, it's gonna do all the work. So here it comes. It's gonna get underneath, lift it up, stays right there. Ha, 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 ha. Right. The ha-has are optional.
Thank you for that excellent tip about picking a spot. That really helped.
Me too. Big time.
So that spot, we get a new spot every time we go into a new section, right? So this first section, that's the spot, and everything is oriented towards that spot. Then we go, into the second section, which is an exception to the rule. So it's actually the same spot in the second section, except that I'm moving backwards away from it. In the first section, I'm advancing towards it. In the second section, I'm advancing away from it. Third section, I go back and I have another spot and I'm going towards that spot, right? And then in fourth section, I turn around, a new spot, blah, blah, blah. We'll get there. Hey, Adele.
Hi. Speaking of the same thing, and this is a nuance that when I step back, I can't see as well with your eyes. Do you look with your eyes first, then follow the front hand? Because I've been doing it both ways, playing with it.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about this. I think on the Saturday class, actually, we talked about this. So let me go back to this notion, this principle of there are 4 parts to every movement: a beginning position, and a final position, a development, which is what happens in between the beginning position and the final position, and then transition to the next beginning position, right? So the eyes shift during each one of those places. In the beginning position, the eyes are kind of like neutral because the beginning position is a split second, right? The beginning position in reality is just like, I got to my beginning position, I'm already moving. the development happens the moment that the second foot touches the floor and then finishes when you hit the final position. Now, there's a beginning, middle, and ending to that development. In the first half, from beginning to middle, the eyes are following the hands. From the middle to the end, the eyes look to the target. They shift to the target and stay on target as your body finishes the motion. As you begin the next place, which is the transition, my eyes go back to the hands. I step out and then my eyes follow the hands until the middle, and then I go to the target and stay on target. So they're
Yeah,
going
so
back
you're,
and
so you're actually not making, like, again, it's part of my other trainings that I've taken, where I'm looking first where the target is, then I come back and then I follow through with the hand. So you don't look first. That's the nuance that I'm asking.
Yeah, this is a really good question. And you're not wrong to say I would look first, right? It's because where does the circle begin? That's kind of in the Tai Chi frame of reference. It's like, where does the circle begin? So that looking first was actually the end of the previous movement,
Got it. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And here's the thing. So this actually connects to the previous point we were just making, and that is that in the choreography of the Tai Chi routine, the targets are not shifting. They're going to stay in the same place for the whole section, and then it's going to be a new place. And then another, not until the next section do we shift that again. So every time you're looking at a target or are looking first, it's always the same place,
Mhm.
right? Until the whole section changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, I was just, it was a nuance. Thanks.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, you're not wrong at all. Look first. Tai Chi choreography, the opening the door appears as if nothing had happened before this moment. If you think about it, like you get into this, I'm in my Tai Chi position and I open the door, I step out, I do this whole thing, and my eyes are looking forward. It's like, I'm pretending like this is the beginning, this is the dawn of creation. There was nothing to look at before this moment. But in fact, that's not true. This is an arbitrary position. So I would have said, I've already looked at the target in real life. That's what I would have done. And now I'm going into motion towards it. Cosmina.
Yes, Adele, I think it's because we have a dance background and it's like our body. So be gentle with us, DDR, because it's very hard. Like when you start the period, like you're looking at the target and you go there. But in this one, you kind of look stiff and the body wants to elongate, to arch the back, to point the toes, and you want to look wherever you start spinning. But it's so opposite and it's different muscles and it's really, really challenging for us to.
So this
because
first
you're kind of
movement,
stiff like robot, but you're not. Yeah.
it's well, there is a bit of it. Like Deanna and I talk about it all the time. She says, "Your Tai Chi is so stiff. It's so like bound in a box and everything." And I'm like, "It's a game. It's just a game." And the game is in the first movement, I'm going to flick you into motion. Right? I'm just going to. Then from that moment onward, there's a kind of pull, and you go with that pull towards the movement. Right? I'm pulled towards the gravity, the attraction of the two bodies moving towards that direction. I don't want to be stiff and robotic towards that direction. But the first movement, I have to get you going into motion. Right? That's why the first movement, opening the door, is also called go. Like that's another. In Chinese, the movement means like commence. Start.
It's funny because I always think of it as like when we're opening the door as if I've already sensed that the target is there, even if I haven't seen it. Like if I was gonna go on a dance route, it's kind of like if you're on the dance floor and you know there's other people around you and you're making sure you don't run into them, but you're not looking straight at them like you're there, let me go, in this particular direction. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
know, like you get that glimpse, you have like, you feel the air rush past you. Like I just imagine that that's already happening when like I go to open the door and I'm like, okay, the target is behind me and I know this. So I head that way and then I look to make sure I make contact and then I'm tracking them afterwards to make sure I'm still making contact.
So I don't know if you have heard this before, and how many of you are big, Marvel Comics aficionados or Stan Lee. Actually, the original version of Spider-Man was that he was bitten by a radioactive Tai Chi master, and that's how he developed his spidey senses. Right? So. No, I thought I heard that somewhere. I could be mistaken. Anyway, but that's exactly what Raven's saying is exactly right. It's like you're already like the tingle is already there. Right? Totally. All right. Any other questions? So how many people were here for the 10:30 class in the morning, the principles of? Oh, good. So I shared something with everybody in the 10:30 class. Should I share? Should I show these guys? Yeah. Okay. Just something. New ink. And I was trying to get this to focus, and it's a peace sign is what it is. My new peace sign tattoo. I'll have to, I don't know if this, I'll take a picture of it. We'll post it on the Facebook group, and so you guys can see it. But there's new ink in the house.
Is that temporary? Your kid practicing
No,
again, or
no, this is a permanent one. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have him do more temporaries, but this one's a permanent one. Once you get a chance to have it's bloody and it's melting and it's post-apocalyptic in its design. And the tattoo artist asked me, this is like, what is the story behind this? And I said, well, for me, what this means is that no matter what the circumstances, even in the midst of death and destruction and devastation, peace is always a possibility if we set our minds towards it. And I want to teach that so much that I decided I'm going to just wear it permanently.
DDR, it looks very much like a symbol that I grew up with in Oklahoma of the 5 indigenous tribes and their shield. And yeah, very, very much so. So that is a shield of peace. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you guys for letting me share that with you. I appreciate it. Have a great week, and I will see you guys back here next Tuesday.